What's up guys, Coop here, and today we're going to be looking at BattleTech. Specifically, we're going to learn the roles of the mechs. So that's probably one of the most confusing things is you see all these mechs and they all have different names such as like Blackjack and Vindicator and Spider and everything, and you're just like, okay, what are these guys' roles? What do they exactly do? And for a while there, when trying to dive into the game, it's very confusing, and you can kind of like put your little cursor over a lot of the different things and kind of understand a little bit about them, but in reality it's kind of difficult to understand fully exactly what they are. So today we're actually going to try to see if we can make it a little easier for you guys to figure out exactly which type of mechs are which. So if you look at the bottom there, you guys can kind of see where it says stock role, and it tells you how it has like it has fire support and skirmisher. This has a good old brawler or fire support, and skirmisher and cavalry, and this one is strike cavalry. So you have a variety of different types of mechs here, and they all do a variety of different things, but basically in general you can most of the time kind of put these into different classes. So starting off with a lot of the lighter ones like for example the Locust, basically they are known as the scouts. And what does that exactly mean? What does that role mean? Basically what you do is you have these guys, these really light mechs, and you have them run out into like the bushes and on the edge of the fog of war basically, and you use them to specifically look out and try to pick out the enemies, and constantly you're going to be wanting to use a ability of the good old mech warriors here, which I'll show you here. So if you're going to be doing a light base mech, you're going to be wanting to use sensor lock. Basically what you do is you reveal their location, getting rid of evasion charges as they run up to you, and by doing that it allows you to basically have your long range mechs hit them from afar. So that's basically the whole point of the Locust, is for them to travel really far across the map and then pinpoint them and sensor lock them and then have your farther mechs hit them. So talking about farther mechs, let's actually talk about the sniper, because there isn't exactly a subclass of a sniper per se, but it's more specifically the type of weapon that you use. Basically you want to try to use these good old PPC cannons. Basically they are in general very long range weapons that deal massive amounts of damage that cause a lot of massive amount of heat. So you get one right at the start with the Vindicator, and a lot of people don't really know this, but the Vindicator is really good. However, it does have sort of its own faults. It has like a small laser and a medium laser and a kind of a sniper rifle, so it's kind of like an all-around mech. But what I would highly suggest is that over time you get another PPC cannon and make it to where you have two of them, and then that way you can establish this guy as more of a sniper. So basically this guy, you want to put usually a lot of heat sinks into it. And the reason that you would do a sniper is, well, it's very long range. You can use your scout to sensor lock and get them kind of have no charges or like ways of evasion, and then you just blast the hell out of them. So it's very important that you look at sort of the type of quality of your weapons, so understanding like the range and different things, which I'll try to make a video about that maybe in the future if enough people really want that. But the PPC is basically a type of weapon that you can do to kind of change how your playstyle of the mech works. So, what are some of the other ones that you have? Well, a lot of people know the Blackjack. It's kind of the one that you start off with, and these are your fire support mechs. Basically, these are the mechs that can engage at medium sort of distance. They're kind of average all around, but they're basically meant to have as many lasers and cannons and things on them as possible. So as you can see here, it's got a little bit of jump jets, it's got a little bit of heat sinks, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got all these different weapons, and basically it's just meant to shoot them down and take down the shields and take down what's left over. So usually I'd have like my little small mech go out there, he'd sensor lock them, destroying down their evasion charges. My sniper mech comes in, blasts the hell out of it. If it doesn't destroy it, then my fire support comes in and blows it up. So as you can see here, it's all about this different strategies and things, and trying to understand exactly what all your different mechs are. Now, next is the good old brawler classes. So with the brawler classes, the Shadowhawk is the first one that comes to mind. It's the one that you get right at the start, and it's a very good mech, especially when you're trying to do a brawler. So what exactly is a brawler? Well, brawlers are typically your harder, sort of heavier mechs that have a little bit more armor, and basically they're meant to do melee. Now it's important that you don't do death from above, because many people try to do death from above, but they forget it damages their mech. So with melee, it's important that you have a heavy amount of tonnage, that way you can punch really hard and do a lot of good damage there. Now the issue with that is a lot of times you have guts instability issues. So it's important that when you do this, that you choose a person like Behemoth, for example, who I gave piloting and guts, so she has extra health, so she doesn't get as hurt and she can keep in the fray a little bit longer. And then on top of it has an unsteady threshold, and then on top of it with piloting, it increases your melee hit. So it's important that if you do use a brawler type of mech, that you really go down this piloting tree, because that is very important for what you're going for. I chose guts as well just to make it really helpful. Now, one of the things that is also important though with the brawler class is you got to keep in mind the different types of weapons here. So one of the things that you'll notice with the good old Shadowhawk is it does have certain weapons that are close range, which if I can find one real quick, is it this one? I think it's the SMG. Yeah, I think it's this to be exact. But basically, it has like weapons that basically, as you hit them, you also shoot at them. So a lot of your typical, I would say, close range weapons do that. So if I were to actually show you guys here, a lot of times you'll have like these little close range weapons that are really, really nice. So like for example, the MG. So after you punch them, you could shoot at them a few times. So it's important that you understand your combos and you understand sort of the different weapon types and everything. But basically, that's sort of the in general thing out there. I know it was very confusing. I know it's hard to understand all the different things out there. But basically, you have your scouts that run around and they sensor lock things to destroy the shields. You have your good old brawler classes, which are basically running up and shooting them, which you want to make sure that they have a heavy amount of tonnage and armor, especially when going forward. So as you can see here, very armored and very nice balance overall. And then you have your sniper-based mechs, which you basically want to set up in different areas and partner up with your smaller mechs and basically just deal a massive amount of damage. And then you have your good old fire support to kind of help you out, and just basically a general roundhouse of a little bit of everything. I hope this video was very helpful for you guys. I know it's sort of like really hard to understand all the different mechs and everything with the whole BattleTech universe. It's very elaborate and a lot of the names can be very confusing and everything, but I hope this video is helpful for you guys. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe. I did just recently reach 1K, but let's see if we can get ourselves up to 2K. Also, I have a variety of different links down below and a personal email if you ever have any questions, and hell, I might make a video if you're very confused about it. Also, I did release my new merch. Be sure to check that out as well. Anyways, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.